Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm part of the Multi-Photo Monday layouts using 2 or more photos collab today. Becky invited me to join the ladies and I'll have them all linked down below so you guys can check out their videos. So today I decided to do another double page layout, and if you guys saw my last visit to this series Multi-Photo Monday, I did another double page layout. So I'm really into double page layouts when I have to use a lot of photos, and thankfully in January I'm doing my page kits. And my page kits have a lot of different photos to go with them from my DC trip. So this is what I'll be using for this layout are my DC photos. So I had 5 photos picked out. I wasn't sure how many I was going to use. I ended up going with 4, and it was a really hard starting point. When I don't have a sketch or any idea at all, it's really hard for me to start a layout, as it is for many people. So right now I'm just looking at the photos. I know I want some sort of vertical or horizontal design over a vertical design, and I know that not all of these can fit on there, especially since 2 of them are of the same subject matter, which is my tickets for the Capitol building tour. So this is actually when we got to visit the Capitol building. We only got to do this once when we lived in Maryland, but it's something I highly recommend if you're visiting. It is free. I will say that it does get very busy, but it was very, very unique, and it was a great tour that we went on. So I'm starting off by pairing up my photos. I have 2 here. The bottom right 2 currently are from Emancipation Hall, which is the hall underneath the Capitol building. So it's before you actually go into the Capitol building. That's where you buy your tickets, and there's museum exhibits in there, and then there's statues and a lot of plaques to read. There's a lot in there. So I took a picture of the wall that said Emancipation Hall, and then in front of that is a beautiful sculpture. I can't remember of who it is but I have a picture of it, and I'll have to look up those details for my journaling. And I decided to switch the photos because the bottom right photo now is of a very dark background with the Capitol. It says the Capitol building on it in the rightest photo, or the photo to the most right photo. That photo says Capitol. The Capitol building has the emblem of it, and it's very dark. And since it's so heavy, I didn't want it floating up in the air, so I decided to pull that one down to the bottom right. So that way your eye moves naturally from light to dark, from the left side to the right side of the layout. And if you guys watched my page kit making video, you'll know that most of my page kits only had 3 pages, and this one did start as 3 pages picked out, but I ended up going with 4 by adding in the second one of the exact same pattern so I could do a nice cohesive look for this page. And this background paper is from the Minty Lace collection from DCWV, which is a relatively older collection. Places like AC Moore might still have it. And I'll have everything linked down below that's still available for purchase online in case you guys are interested. Next, I'm looking up through my die cut bag. Like I said, I did make this kit, so I had a lot to work with, but I do pull in some other elements to make this layout come together. I did struggle with it because it is just photo heavy, and I didn't want the papers or the embellishments to overwhelm the photo, so I kept it very light. And I plan on having a lot of journaling for this layout, which will go underneath the photos on the left-hand page, and that'll probably be in little cutout pieces of typed journaling. Here I'm cutting this beautiful paper, which is from Maggie Holmes, the Bloom collection, and I'm going to put 2 strips of that, one on each side. So this is a pretty symmetrical layout. I tried to keep it a little bit more whimsical, but a little sturdy as well. It's hard to emulate something that's so regal as the Capitol building with all the statues and the marble and the gold plating, and there's just so much to emulate from that. So I kept it fairly simple and tried to pick out some of those things I could highlight on. I thought about bringing in some gold foiled Project Life cards, but they just didn't end up fitting well into the actual grid layout that I've been working on here, so I decided not to go with any of those. But I did think about it, especially this one with light pink on it. I thought the pink would bring in a nice touch, as well as pull in more of that pink from the floral strips that I just added. But I end up not really going with that. And if you're wondering, I do keep all of my scraps from these page kits together in the page kit still. That way I can pull them out if I need them. And I do plan on making a layout with all the page kit scraps, or at least several layouts with page kit scraps. So I should get over 20 layouts done with this page kit this month. So if you guys haven't subscribed already and would like to see more page kit videos, definitely subscribe. And don't forget to check out everyone else linked down below. Dolly's participating this month. Like I said, Becky's participating this month. And I believe Pink Glitter Scrapper is back again. But I think there's another one sitting out this month. So anyway, check them out, link down below, because they have beautiful layouts. Always multi-photo as well, which I know a lot of people struggle with when doing their memory keeping. So it's important that we keep on top of our inspiration for that, and this is a layout to help you guys, and I hope you guys like this one. If you guys would like a sketch built off of this, let me know in the comments down below. I've been thinking about releasing some sketches onto my blog. I've actually made a bunch of sketches over for my Patreon group, and if you haven't checked that out, I'll have that linked down below as well. And I give them sketches every so often. The last time I think I gave them 12 sketches as one of their printables for the month. So if you're interested in sketches, I have some. I'm new at sketch making, so please forgive me, but I really enjoy doing it. It's just like a digital format for me to explore scrapbooking in a different way, and it's definitely fun. If you guys haven't tried sketch making, I would recommend it. It's really fun to help try to like plan out your layouts ahead of time. So you'll see that the bottom section's coming together fairly well. I pulled out that tag, I pulled out another pattern paper to cut down into strips, which worked out pretty nice. That's just a cut apart pocket page card that I had. And it's a gray chevron, and I like that gray aspect because it doesn't take away from that crystal creamy color that we have going on, but it does help bring out those darker colors and give it something to look forward to. And I will say that although this layout is plain, it still has a lot going on, especially once you add in the journaling. I think that'll take up a lot of space. So I definitely didn't want to overwhelm my photos with more embellishing, which on some layouts it's very easy to embellish more, but with these muted photos, I found it very, very difficult to embellish or layer papers or anything like that, especially given with what I put in my kit. And of course, I do sometimes reach outside my kits. I know that sometimes I have better options for what my layout ended up turning out like. So don't be afraid to reach outside your kits if you need to. You don't want to corner yourself with options that you hate. But you also don't want to give yourself full reign of your stash because it will take you longer to make a layout. You'll be more indecisive, you won't know what you want, and it'll be really hard to narrow down a design. I did pull out some peachy and pink elements because that color is in the floral pattern that I picked out, but what I ended up doing was not using any of those tabs. Rather, I used one of those tags, and I think it's actually cut out of the video because I had to pause the video to go do something and then I forgot to turn it back on right after I got back. But I do show you guys in the end what I ended up doing. So first we're going to glue down our photos. They're going to stick down. I thought I might layer paper behind them, but I think I like that creamy iridescent background paper next to them. It really helps like let them like sink into the background, which I kind of like. And then the ones on the bottom right more pop out, which again is what I was kind of going for because of the darker tones in them. And if you guys have any questions about DC, I'm not an expert. I didn't live there, but we did visit there pretty often. So if you need recommendations or something, let me know. It was really fun to visit. And I wish there is a little bit of our DC trips in 2 years ago Vlogmas. So Vlogmas 2017 has a lot of DC activities in it if you're interested. But other than that, I didn't vlog any of it. So I don't have much information on it on the internet as of right now. But that is something you can always look forward to. So here's the part that got cut out. I did include a little light pink tag all the way to the bottom right, and I put a little Heidi Swap puffy, like a puffy sticker geotag on top of it. Geotags are something that were really popular and then they died out, and I still love them. So it's really hard to find them nowadays, but this old sticker set had some and I decided to use them. I did flip through my paper pads. I flipped through a lot of things a couple times to try to find something that I'd like to use. And it was very, very difficult. I did find this. Now this is perfect contrast for the darker elements that I ended up putting on my layout. I have the dark tag on the bottom right next to the photos. I have the black ampersand underneath my photos on the left, and I definitely need something to balance that out. And this little sign that says "Have More Adventures" is totally off key for the sort of theme that I was going for. I hate the font for the theme I was going for. I like the shape. I don't like that it's supposed to be like a wall banner. That part I don't like, but I do like that it does have that contrast element, and that will be staying there. So let me know if that you think that was a mistake or not, but I kind of like it there. It's like a standalone cluster. It just stays up there. Again, there's no rules in scrapbooking. You don't have to do a visual triangle every time. You can just do what you please and what you think looks good. That's the best part about scrapbooking. Here I'm very excited because I pulled these out of a random drawer next to me. They were not in my kit, but this is 2 Heidi Swap stickers left, both with gold glitter, which again, taking this layout to a completely different space, not clean and perfect like I was originally kind of going for. But I ended up finishing off the sticker sheet, which is so exciting. This will be in my empties video at the end of January in my favorites. I always share the empties that I did that month, so get excited for that because I am finishing off anything is just really exciting in scrapbooking. It's like this was a 7 or 8 sticker pack, and I just finished it, and I've had it for well over 2 years, so it's kind of sad. But we hoard things, we lose things. It's just about using things, even if they're not completed packs. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this layout so far. We are almost complete. I do need to add a couple more things though, because as you can tell, it's quite plain. And one, we don't have a title. I didn't want the Have More Adventures to be my title because it's very generic, and I've been doing a lot of generic titles lately, and I want that to stop. Sort of like a fake New Year's resolution that I made is like, stop doing generic titles. I like longer titles, I just often just get lazy and don't do them. So I decided to pull out this gold foiled and black foam underneath thicker set, and I wanted to put in the capital, and then I was going to put in capital and then put the in like smaller letter stickers because that's just easier. And I know I said in my page kit video that I was going to use stamps primarily for my titles, but this one did not need stamps. I do use some stamping titles coming up though, so get ready for those. And I know you guys were requesting that. But once I put this down, I hated some of the way some of the letters looked. Like I liked the word in, but then the O was weird, and then the P was weird, and I was like, we're done with this font. Not the font I wanted. So I ended up going back to the drawing board and picking out a different gold foiled alphabet set, which is more stark. It's not as rigid as I want. It's more of like a hand-drawn sort of feel, but I do like it a bit better than the one I just had. So what I ended up doing is in the capital, all in gold thickers, because why are we not using our thickers more? I'm just going to use all the letters I can, and we'll see how it turns out, you know? So capital in the capital, and guys, I was so scared that I was spelling this wrong at first. I almost thought it was capital with an AL instead of an OL, which, crazy. I'm that person who always like checks in my journaling, like types out my journaling first to make sure that it's all grammatically correct before I would write it down. But that's just me. But I am going to cut out the rest of this pasting down my title because it is quite tedious and you guys don't need to see it all. Now that the title's all set, I am going to finish off this layout. I know I need some splatters, and I've been so into splatters lately, guys. You'll see that on like the rest of my layouts for this month. It's like an easy way to use mixed media. It's a fun way to use mixed media, and it's just a great way to add sparkle and shine and a little bit more color without having to think about it. It's really so easy. And if you're splattering like I do, I would recommend shaking your Heidi Swap Color Shine for years before you use it. I ended up shaking this. I turned the camera off and ended up shaking it and doing it off camera because I was really afraid of getting those oil dots, but I ended up being just fine. And this is kind of what it turned out to be. I did a lot more smaller dots. I was very scared to do large dots because I didn't want it to take away from the regalness of the photos to have these messy splatters. But here is the up close versions. Let me know what you guys think of this double page layout, and if you guys are coming from the other channels, hi, welcome, thank you for watching, and definitely check out the other channels if you haven't already, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!